side this season, a staple of downtown Como, of course, since 1971, now featuring a new food menu. Check out the daily specials and the expanded space to host your next event. Of course, we're on the Central Bank Tiger Network. We're available on the Mizzou Athletics Facebook feed. You can also watch Tiger Talk locally through the family of networks through KMIZ and in the St. Louis area through Matrix Midwest. Again, I'm Brad Trinago. Darren McDermott on the ones and twos for us at Learfield headquarters in Jefferson City. Jeremy Washington helping to engineer along with Sam from KMIZ, Steve Sowers from Mizzou Sports Properties, all helping to make this thing go behind the scenes. Mizzou is on a 3-game winning streak. All the wins coming in the state of Florida. Tigers now 7-2 on the season. Got victories against Washington State and Disney World on Sunday of the Sunday before Thanksgiving. And then Thanksgiving weekend went down to Fort Myers, defeated Bradley 73-66, and most recently an 85-70 win against Northwestern on Saturday. Up next for the Tigers, a couple of home games. Cal for the SEC ACC Challenge tomorrow night. That's an 8 o'clock tip, so a 7:45 broadcast start for us. And then SIU Edwardsville will be in for a Sunday afternoon matchup, tipping off at 2. Well, Coach, we're exactly a month now since the first official game for you as head coach for Mizzou Women's Hoops. What's the journey been like so far?
I can't believe it's been a month. I mean, my goodness, a lot has happened in the last month. It's been a journey. I think you use that word, that term. It has been a journey, and I think for our players, I think we've seen progress. We've seen growth. When we talk about growth and development as a team, it's not linear. It's not a straight line. It's sometimes ups and downs. And sometimes you have to have some downs to get the ups. And, I'm just proud of our team for really working hard, believing in what we asked them to do, and really fighting every day to get better, whether that's in practice or in a game.
Specifically in the 3-game winning streak I just referenced, what have you seen that you feel like, all right, we're making some strides here?
Well, I thought our offense was pretty efficient the last 3 games, and I thought our defense was better. We were able to. I tell you what, the way the schedule laid out, Washington State, Bradley, Northwestern, they are all very similar stylistically, and let's just say that didn't hurt things. That going into the first game, going into the Washington State game, that prep really carried over to our next 2 games as well. So that was a nice stretch there for us to work on one concept, and it really worked for all 3 opponents. So that helped. I thought we really focused hard on our rebounding. We did out-rebound Northwestern. I believe that was the rumor I had. I don't remember all the stats.
I think you're right.
That was a big deal. That's a big growth moment for our basketball team, and something that we had been focusing on.
Tiger Talk with head coach Kellie Harper for the first time here at Harpo's. Just taking a step back, just the value of a trip like we were just on over Thanksgiving, being able to spend 4 days down in Fort Myers, especially with a brand new coaching staff and a mostly brand new roster of players. How important is that to be able to spend that time together?
Yeah, you get on the road and you're going for a few days, not just an overnight trip. You've got 2 games. You play on a Friday. You flip it around. 24 hours later, you're playing again on Saturday. I think we were able to see a lot. We didn't know exactly what to expect, how our players were going to handle that maturity-wise, basically, when we're out of town for a number of days, and then how are they going to be able to flip a scouting report that quick? We had one a day in between in the past, but this was a 24-hour one, so it's really a 0-day prep. And then wanted to know how our players were going to handle the recovery piece, because we don't. Everybody knows we don't have a big bench. We don't have a deep roster. We only have 10 available. Period. So you're going to have a lot of players play high minutes, and I thought our training staff, our strength coach, and our athletic trainer, and our players did a really good job of getting their bodies back ready for the game 2 on Saturday.
Absolutely did. You mentioned the offensive efficiency, and I wanted to ask you a little bit more about that, because as of today, your team top 25 in the country in terms of field goal percentage, top 5 in the country in terms of three-point percentage. What do you think's been driving that?
Well, I think we've worked really hard honestly, we started this summer. I mean, we worked really hard this summer about what our offense was going to look like. We wanted to put a lot of emphasis there. But until you really get into games, sometimes we had the package in, but we get in the games, and our players have really started to embrace the offense, embrace what we're trying to do. Not just being robots and running through, but having a big picture understanding of what works for us and how we need to play. And I think they've done a better job as of late understanding that. And, hats off to our coaching staff, in particular Todd Schaefer. Happy birthday, Todd. Mm-hmm. Who's really spearheaded that effort in terms of getting our players in the right actions to be able to produce opportunities.
I wanted to ask you too, like, hey, what aspects do you feel like this team really needs to get better? And the first thing I would have thought was, oh, she's probably going to say turnovers. But Saturday, only 8 turnovers in the win against Northwestern. So even in an aspect where I'm guessing you're still hoping to see improvement, are you seeing some strides?
Yeah, well, I think so. I think they understand it's a big deal now. I think we'll continue to be mindful of that. Our team, we need to be a low turnover team. We don't have a large margin for error. This just is what it is. We don't have a lot of room for goofs. So taking care of the basketball and at least getting a shot up on our possessions is going to be really vital for us. And, and then if you take it one step further, it helps your defense when you're not turning the ball over. Absolutely.
That is Mizzou Women's Hoops head coach Kellie Harper. We're going to go a little bit more this hour with the coach about her journey, journey through life, from there all the way here to Columbia. That's all coming up. We'll also talk about some of her individual standouts who have gotten off to some terrific starts this season, so make sure to stick around for that. Tiger Talk brought to you by Shelter Insurance, ranked #1 in customer satisfaction for auto insurance in the Central Region by J.D. Power. 7 out of the last 8 years. We're your shield. We're your shelter. We will talk about some of the key pieces on Coach Harper's roster, including a pair of standouts who now each have 1,000 career points. That's all still to come. We're off and running with the new head coach for Mizzou Women's Hoops, Kellie Harper. Tiger Talk from Harpo's in downtown Columbia on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
The home for Tiger Talk Coaches shows is Harpo's Bar and Grill in downtown Columbia. Join us Tuesdays or Wednesday nights for the inside scoop on all things Mizzou basketball. Hear from the voice of the Tigers, Mike Kelly, along with Mizzou Women's head coach Kellie Harper at 6 p.m. and Mizzou Men's head coach Dennis Gates at 7 p.m. Come early, grab your spot, and enjoy great food and drink specials during the show. That's Tiger Talk, only at Harpo's Bar and Grill. Visit MUTigers.com for the full show schedule.
Black and gold season never ends at the Tiger Team Store. Gear up for game day with the largest official selection of black and gold gear and gifts. From the latest Mizzou SEC gear to everything you need for your tailgate, the Tiger Team Store is your store for all things Mizzou. The Tiger Team Store has moved and is now located inside Mizzou Arena. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. with extended hours on game day, or online at TigerTeamStore.com. It's always black and gold season at the Tiger Team Store.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need, so you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles, or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
We believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support. For life, Great Southern Bank. Understanding what really matters. Member FDIC.
It's time to get back into routine that focuses on you. Move better, feel better, simply live better at Wilson's Fitness. Escape reality in the indoor saltwater pool. Detox in the saunas or heat things up with our hot yoga. Wilson's is here to support you, motivate you, and help smash your goals with group fitness classes, personal coaching, and endless amenities. Move better, feel better, simply live better at Wilson's Fitness in Columbia. Visit them at wilsonsfitness.com.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the top college athletic programs for the 2025-26 college athletic season? Check out the criteria and follow the year-long standings of your favorite team at L Directors Cup on the X platform or online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2026 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. The Learfield Directors Cup, powered by NACDA, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Gets it stolen by Dow with 5. Split race with 4. With 3. Dow drives loud, pokes it away. Dow gets it back, lays it up, no. Tipped by Slaughter. Got it! Got it at the horn! They're going to review it, but I think Slaughter beat the clock. And if so, Mizzou will go to the 4th, leading it 62-58. Tiger Talk continuing with head coach Kellie Harper from Harpo's in downtown Columbia. Mizzou Athletics would like to thank our premier partners of the Diamond Club, MU Healthcare, Shelter Insurance, and Multiply Credit Union. Again, tomorrow night, the Tigers will be hosting Cal in the SEC ACC Challenge. 8 o'clock tip, 7:45 broadcast start. Well, as you heard from that highlight, Grace Slaughter, actually, she had quite a few highlights, in fact, from Fort Myers. She was phenomenal all weekend. Friday against Bradley, 19 points, a career high. 14 rebounds, and then against Northwestern, 33 points, a career high for her, getting her to exactly 1,000 points in her terrific career. The junior from Grain Valley has done a terrific job here in black and gold. Coach, she spent the season as either the 4 or the 5 down low. She's averaging 20 points and 7 rebounds per game. How do you feel like she's adjusting to a little bit of a shift in her role?
Yeah, first of all, that was a great call, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
That was awesome. I don't get to hear you. You know, I'm busy.
That's true.
Busy during our game.
Busy. That's
right. What a great call. And you're right. Grace played phenomenal while she was down there. And I think for her, it's not about the position. It's not about are you the center, are you the power forward, are you the wing. It's more about where we're going to use her. And we're going to use her in her position, in Grace's position. So we're going to spread the floor. You want to go small, we're going to put her inside. You want to put a big on her, we're going to take her outside, and good luck, basically. So I think the biggest thing is, comfort for her. I think it took her a minute, but the more we play, the more comfortable she gets within our system. And, she watches it on film. She understands the concepts. She's playing multiple roles, but she still just gets to be herself. And I think that's where we can hit the nail on the head when we're looking to keep Grace comfortable and confident on the court.
That rebounding number really pops out to me. It's 7 boards per game. Has that been a point of emphasis for you and your staff with her? Because that's nearly double where she was at last year.
Yes, it's probably double where she's at the beginning of the season, to be honest with you. I think Grace wants to keep getting better. She's always somebody that's looking for something, like give her something to work on. And we're talking about defensively where she can get better, and I think the first stopping point with that was the rebounding. If she can get in there, in particular on the defensive boards, then that's a stop for us defensively, and that helps us. And so she's really worked. She worked hard. I think she had 9 and then double figures down there in Florida in the last 2 games. So that's good to see. I think she's really buying into the need. We need that for our team to be successful, and she's very capable. So, that number is at 7.2. I'd love to see her tracking on double-digit rebounds. That'd be a great stat for her.
You connected with Grace Slaughter really early in your time at Mizzou, right? This was back last spring at your horse farm, right?
Oh, wow. So, actually, they came down. I'd already accepted the job, taken the job, but my family and I were still living in Florida on and off, and she had come down on vacation, so we went over and saw her and a couple other girls. And Grace actually didn't come to the barn, but her mom did. Okay. So Mom got to come and ride horses with me pretty early. Anybody gets on the back of a horse with me, that's good peeps. So we had a good time. We've been very blessed to inherit some terrific human beings.
Tiger Talk with Kellie Harper here from Harpo's in downtown Columbia. Shannon Dowell also hit 1,000 career points in November. Illinois State transfer has also done a terrific job so far here. She's averaging 17 points and a team best 8 rebounds per game. She has 4 double-doubles already, even though she's a guard. Her first game at Mizzou, she sets a program record with 23 free throw attempts in a tight win against Central Arkansas. I mean, she's just been as good as advertised ever since she got here.
Yeah, we're really proud of her. Obviously, we brought her here with the hopes that she was going to bring some athleticism on the perimeter, some aggressiveness, and she's done just that. There's no doubt about it. I think where we have been pleasantly surprised is how much stronger she is now than the moment she got here. She's worked hard on it. She wanted to develop into a player that could be consistent at this league, and I think just where she was at when she got here, we were pretty concerned. She's going to end up on the floor a lot. She's going to end up a little bit of a rag doll, and she's done a great job of transforming her body to be able to play. And I'll be honest with you, when she plays, she delivers some blows. I mean, she can get downhill and play physical basketball, and that's why we brought her here. But it's still good to see. The interesting thing, she's fast. Everybody talks about how fast she is. Let me tell you what she's great at. And now all our fans, when you watch, you're gonna see it now. She has a great change of speed. She has another gear. I like my horses when they come down the stretch, the horses that can find another gear. That's what she does. She'll go in transition, she's going fast, and then she finds another gear, and her change of speed is really hard to defend.
Certainly is. So we're 9 games in. Slaughter and Dowell have scored at least 10 points in every game so far this year. They're the first Tiger duo to do that, score 10 or more points in every game since 1981. So really a historic run so far for those two, kind of at the tip of the spear for this Mizzou offense. Jordana Reisma has been another high-impact transfer. She came here from Cleveland State. She's posting 12 points and 7 rebounds a game so far. How critical has the 6'3" post been to this team?
Oh, my goodness. Well, you can look at our bench and see who's available and realize we desperately need the depth. But she's also really talented. We felt that way when we were evaluating her as she was in the transfer portal. We felt like she'd be a great fit for us. She runs really well. She has really good hands, and she can score. And I think what we're able to do is put shooters around her. We've seen quite a few double teams as of late, and she's been able to. She's working through like finding the open man and still being able to score. And I think she's been a perfect fit for us and a perfect fit for what we need. And I'm really proud of her and how she's played.
Someone who's produced right away as well since coming here from Purdue is Jayla Smith, who at least right now is making a case for SEC 6th Woman of the Year if she keeps up this pace. 10 points a game, leading your team in blocks and steals and field goal percentage and three-point percentage. How does her versatility help you in that bench role?
Well, I think Jayla comes in and she's very poised. I mean, she doesn't get too high, too low. She just kind of goes out and does her job. And I think it's been a really nice compliment to Shannon and Grace and Jordana. And her coming off the bench gives us some firepower. I love having somebody on the bench that can come in and they can produce. And I think she's another one. The more comfortable she gets, the more confident she gets. And she's been very consistent as of late. So, I understand everybody, they're not going to be perfect every night. We know that, but love how she's playing right now. And I think, again, a lot of the things that we're doing offensively, defensively just match her style of play.
You've made one change in the starting lineup so far this season, and that was inserting Chloe Sotel, who's a Pepperdine transfer, 6-foot sophomore guard. She started the last 3 games, and in those games, she's averaging 11 points per. She's shooting 44% from 3. What did you see from Chloe through the first half dozen games that led her to get that opportunity?
Well, I think there's a couple things. We felt like we needed to shake up. We felt like we needed to change in our starting lineup. Okay, so there's your first thought process. Our second thought process is let's look at what our production is with our lineups. Where is our most productive lineup? And and then how can we still have some firepower coming off the bench? I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, and I think it was the right decision for our team, at least where we're at right now. Chloe is competitive. I mean, she's competitive, and she's about as feisty as anybody on our team right now. If there's a loose ball, she's got a chance to get it. She's very competitive, and she's driven. And it's almost like once we started games, I feel like, she amped it up another gear. She likes to win. She wants to do it right. And I think defensively, she's been one of our more solid players. Now, again, she's slim and doesn't have the strength and the power that maybe some other teams will have, but you got to start in the right spot, and she's been in the right spot and really trying to make plays.
Well, you mentioned having a short bench. That was not by design. It's just how it's worked out in terms of the injury challenges early this season. Avery Kroenke, unfortunately, out for the year with an ACL tear that occurred right before the season opener. We still haven't seen Hannah Linthicum or Sydney Maines on the floor yet. Is there any update you have for us right now on them?
No, still the same place we're in. We're just rehabbing and kind of taking things day by day, and getting guidance from our athletic training staff and our medical staff. So, but in particular, Avery, that's a tough blow for that kid and our team. But she's one that gives everything she has to her teammates, and I know it's hard to sit back and watch. I've been there, done that. I had 2 ACL surgeries as a player as well, and it's really, really hard. So I know what she's going through, but she still does a tremendous job of staying very engaged with our team, and they love her dearly, so they're there to support her through her rehab as well.
I want to ask you about one of those ACL surgeries coming up in our next segment, so stick around. Show your swagger with a Tiger checking card from Central Bank, the only place for Tiger checking. Open it today at centralbank.net. We're going to back up a little bit in our next segment. We'll learn a little more about Coach Harper and her background before becoming Mizzou's women's basketball coach. That's next. Tiger Talk from Harpo's in downtown Columbia on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. Being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA. It is really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families, and one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas.
Congratulations on getting your diploma.
You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle.
Or forget extra diapers.
You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
We just kind of knew from the beginning that we were family.
They showcased a sense of love that I never had before. I mean, he's not only my parent, he's like my best friend.
At the end of the day, it's all been worth it. I wouldn't change a thing about our lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt U.S. Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom? She started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
When I smoke weed, I get lost in the music. I like to isolate each instrument The rhythmic bass, the harmonies on the piano, sticky melody.
Hey, careful, babe. There's someone crossing the street.
Sorry, I didn't see him there.
If you feel different, you drive different. Don't drive high. It's dangerous and illegal everywhere. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Jordana turns and faces, gives it left side to Slaughter. Space again, 3-ball up, and in again! Grace Slaughter, 15 first quarter points. Off and running with the first Tiger Talk with Mizzou women's basketball head coach Kellie Harper. I'm Brad Trinago. Glad you could join us for show number 1, men's version of the program coming your way at 7 o'clock. You can partner with the Tigers and the Food Bank, the official charitable partner of Mizzou Athletics. Visit scoreagainsthunger.org to learn more about the Score Against Hunger campaign presented by MPIX. All right, Coach, let's go back to the Kelly Jolly days. So you're from Sparta, Tennessee, population of about 5,000. Basically, you come out of the womb and your dad passes you a basketball. Is that
essentially? You got it right.
Okay.
That's. I tell people all the time, I played basketball my whole life. Actually, my parents, the day they brought me home from the hospital, they put a little basketball in my hand, took a picture so I can actually say all my life. My parents both loved basketball. They both played in college, and my dad was a coach, so it was the natural thing. Small town, we didn't have a lot of other options. It was either that or go work on the farm for Dad, and I had 2 younger brothers, and we just grew up in a basketball house. I mean, we went to Coral Springs, Florida one time to watch a basketball tournament. That was our vacation. So that's just how we grew up. And I think a lot of my education from knowledge of the game came from my dad early on.
And then you get to live out what I'm guessing is a dream for most girls basketball players at the time. You get to play for Pat Summitt at Tennessee. When did you realize, hey, I'm good enough at this basketball thing that I could play for the best of the best?
Yeah, I knew going into in my freshman year of high school, I knew I was going to get to play college basketball. At that point, I did not know at what level. It was probably sophomore, junior year. I realized it was going to be an elite level, but still, at that time in particular, for somebody in the state of Tennessee, that was the best, and for us, for me to have that opportunity, I think Pat offered me, junior year maybe, I can't remember exactly, but I knew in that moment that's where I was going to go to school. It took me a few more months to commit, but it was something really powerful, and I wanted to be a part of her. I wanted to be a part of greatness, really, and that's really the aura that she had around herself. You just want to be a part of it.
And you did end up being a part of greatness. Point guard for 3 national championship teams in the late 90s for the Lady Vols. Had a finals record, 17 assists in the 97 championship game. What do you remember the most from your college days?
Wow, that's great. Man, we had some great times. Unfortunately, sometimes I remember the losses more, and I hate that. All right, I hate that. I want to remember the wins. The big games. I remember, the long 5-hour meeting that we had when we were struggling one year. When my teammates get together, we love to talk about just stories, funny moments. You remember the people. You do. You remember the people. But I'll be honest, there's nothing like winning a national championship. I mean, it's just, you can't, the satisfaction that you get. And I'll say this, we won my first 3 years, so I probably had no idea reality. Like, that was unheard of. That's insane what we did. And it probably took losing the 4th one. We lost in the Elite 8 my senior year. It probably took losing that one to really comprehend what we were able to do, like really, truly what we were able to do. But I don't know how you'd have got me in here. My head would have been so big. If we'd have won 4, I don't know who I would have been. I would have no concept of reality, I think, if we'd have won 4. So that's the story I tell myself throughout therapy after that loss. So.
There's a documentary out there. I had to dig for it a little bit over the summer, but it is out there. It's called A Cinderella Season.
It is. You watched it?
I watched it. It's about the 96-97 season. And what stood out to me the most about you, Kelly Jolly at the time, besides the braids, was that the French braids?
Had the French braids.
Had the French braids going on, absolutely. So you hurt your ACL in October. You have surgery on said ACL. You're playing in January with no brace?
Yep.
How is that a thing? Like, how did that happen?
This is not normal. Let's start with that. We don't expect our athletes to do that, okay? So, actually, I had done that. I tore my ACL my senior year of high school. And at this point, I was literally signing with Tennessee and with Pat the next day. And she said, yes, she wanted to honor the commitment and honor the sign. She wanted me to come, but she wanted me to push and go as fast as I could with my rehab. And she had a former player. She said, this former player rehabbed and got back in 4 months. I want you to beat it. That's what she told me. Oh, who does that? No coach. She probably wants me healthy when I get here. She literally told me she wanted me to beat it. And so 2 months and 3 weeks after surgery, I played my first game after an ACL surgery. That was the first one. Now, the second one, they made me go a little bit slower. I was 2 days shy of 3 months. I was probably ready quicker, but they just wouldn't let me do it. So it was. I came back 4 games in, and the girl that was starting gets injured, and she doesn't play the rest of the season. So I finished out starting. We won a national championship. It was. A Cinderella scene. That only happens in the movies, right? It was amazing.
Yep, that is Mizzou women's hoops head coach Kellie Harper. And speaking of coaching, before we go to break, what was it? Was there a point where you were like, I think I want to be a coach someday? Yeah,
I think for me, obviously growing up around coaches and with basketball, I knew in high school I was going to coach. I thought it was going to be in high school. So I went to school, majored in math so I could teach math. My dad told me I'd always have a job if I taught math. So I majored in math, minored in secondary. That's what I was going to do. But, man, I'll never forget sophomore year I went to Pat, and I was like, man, I like this college coach thing. I think this is the way I want to go. And, even after college graduation, I took a couple of interviews for high school positions, but ended up taking an assistant job at Auburn, and here we are.
There we are, off and running. And I will, at some point on one of these shows this season, we're going to run a little bit tight on time, but I do want to ask about some of those early days with you as a coach, because there's some pretty fun stories in there too. But we will get to that on a show coming up in the future, maybe in 6 days. By the way, our next Tiger Talk is on Tuesday, coming up on December 9th, so make sure to join us back here for that one at 6. Also, if you missed part of this episode of Tiger Talk, along with other great content and episodes, are all going to be available on the Inside Mizzou Athletics podcast feed. That's presented by Shelter Insurance, so you can listen to them anytime. And be sure to subscribe to that feed today. Inside Mizzou Athletics, wherever you listen to podcasts. So how Coach Harper went from a TV studio to here in Mizzou. We'll go into that part of her journey. Coming up next as Tiger Talk continues from Harpo's in downtown Columbia on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
The Club at Old Hawthorne is a terrific golf course with amazing practice facilities, which is why the Mizzou golf teams play here. Here's what you might not know. The Club at Old Hawthorne is a community with a welcoming environment that's a perfect fit for an active lifestyle. Golf, tennis, pickleball, swimming, and a fitness center with classes all at one club. The Club at Old Hawthorne. Visit oldhawthorne.com to learn more or schedule a tour. I'm Mike Kelly, the voice of the Missouri Tigers. How much do I love Old Hawthorne? I live here.
Did you get us switched over to Shelter Insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Tiger fans, let's salute the real heroes, our military service members.
Veterans United Home Loans is proud to honor them as the hero of the game. Know a veteran or active duty service member who deserves the spotlight? Nominate your hero today at veteransunited.com/hero. That's veteransunited.com/hero. Help us recognize those who've served with courage, dedication, and pride.
Is your job just a job, and you want to work in a rewarding career? If the answer is yes, then start your journey today by becoming a union construction craft laborer. Why wait? Visit buildunion.com to learn more about becoming a union craft laborer and starting a rewarding career in the construction industry. Build a career, build a future, build a legacy. Buildunion.com for more information.
It's game day, Tigers. When you fly from Columbia Regional Airport, you've already got the home court advantage. Skip the stress. Enjoy fast check-ins, short security lines, and nonstop flights on American and United Airlines. Whether it's the big tournament or your next getaway, COU makes every trip a winning play. Score your travel advantage at flycou.com. See you at COU, your home court in the sky.
The home for Tiger Talk Coaches shows is Harpo's Bar and Grill in downtown Columbia. Join us Tuesdays or Wednesday nights for the inside scoop on all things Mizzou basketball. Hear from the voice of the Tigers, Mike Kelly, along with Mizzou women's head coach Kellie Harper at 6 p.m. and Mizzou men's head coach Dennis Gates at 7 p.m. Come early, grab your spot, and enjoy great food and drink specials during the show. That's Tiger Talk, only at Harpo's Bar and Grill. Visit MUTigers.com for the full show schedule.
Puts it up. Good, and the foul. A career high, 32 for Grace Slaughter, and she'll go to the line for point number 1,000 in her career. Denise puts it up and in. 1,000 career points for Grace Slaughter. Tiger Talk continuing from Harpo's in downtown Columbia with Mizzou women's hoops head coach Kellie Harper. Gentile is now the official vest and other apparel provider of the Tiger Radio Network. Check out the collection of Mizzou apparel available now at gentileapparel.com or at Bingham's in downtown Columbia the next time you're in town for a game. Gentile Apparel is a proud partner of Mizzou Athletics. So we kind of went through some of the early days up through your playing career, at least in college, and we'll go into some of the other stuff that you were up to in terms of playing professionally and getting married and all that type of stuff whenever we have some time on a future show. You're your head coach at Western Carolina, NC State, Missouri State, and your alma mater Tennessee. And then last season you're not with the team. You're an analyst for SEC Network. And we talked earlier about how you were basically born with a basketball. So how weird was that last year? Well, you know what? Honestly, the strangest thing, for the first time in my life, I did not have access to a gym. I couldn't go in the gym. When you have kids that want to shoot basketball, that made it tough. Honestly, it was there was a lot of positives about, you coach 20 years-ish, and not many people ever have the and I'm going to call it an opportunity to sit back and take a step back and look with a different lens. And, for 20 plus years, I've recruited and I've coached other people's kids, and I've been there, been watching them. And the benefactors of what we did last year was our own two children. We were with them 24/7. I mean, we were there. We didn't miss anything. Jackson had batting cage practice. We were there. I mean, we didn't miss anything. And, I think I really enjoyed that, but I also got the call. I had an opportunity to go to the studio with the SEC Network, and I loved it. I thought it was fun. I tell you the part that I enjoyed getting to watch the games and appreciate the games, appreciate the coaches, appreciate the players, instead of trying to watch them and figure out what they can't do. Because that's what you do as a coach. I'm watching them trying to figure out what they can't do. And I finally get to just appreciate the beauty of the game. And that's what, as an analyst, that's what I wanted to give. I wanted to give all the positives. And I'm not trying to make up stuff. I'm telling you the real, why they are good. And I really enjoyed that. And so much so that
kind of pushed me over the, if I was wavering on what I was going to do, what I was not going to do, it honestly just pushed me over the edge. I enjoyed the basketball so much. With the SEC network, I realized that I needed to be coaching.
So you're ready to get back into the game. You've said that others reached out from different schools, and you decided not to take advantage of those opportunities. What was it about the opportunity at Mizzou that led you to jump?
Yeah, I'll be honest, it was the people, 100% the people. I remember vividly getting off the first call that I had with a couple of administrators. And I walked in and looked at John. I said, that went really well. That went really well. And it was just one of those, you go in with no expectation of how it needs to look, what it needs to look like, and you just walk out with, man, that's the right fit. I just felt it from the first moment we had a conversation. And I think a couple more conversations happened, and it just continued to feel good. Made me comfortable that their vision and our vision was going to align. And, obviously for me, the SEC, a lot of people are going to shy away from it. Oh, it's so hard. It is hard, but it's what I know. And I'm confident and comfortable with that. And then obviously for us, spending time in the state of Missouri, I think was a big deal. Our children were born in Missouri. That's kind of cool. And I also felt like I could have a really good staff here. I felt like coming to Missouri would give me an opportunity. I would have the opportunity to hire a really connected staff in this area.
We'll talk more about that excellent staff that you've put together coming up in a future episode of Tiger Talk this season. I did want to ask you, though, so, okay, you accept the job, you go through the introductory press conference, and now you're jumping in feet first in this era of, free player movement, basically, right? Name, image, likeness, the transfer portal, all that's going on. The reality is you know you're going to have some people that leave. You're going to need to bring some players in. So what were those first couple of weeks like after you jumped back into the game?
Oh, my goodness. Rapid speed dating. You're trying to build relationships with your current players. You're trying to figure out where the movement's going to be there, and then you've got to get out and address some needs. You've got to bring in players. We had to create a roster. We had 5 players, so we had to bring in players to create a roster. That's not easy, because it's not just we go out there and just pick one out. You have to pick it out, and then you have to recruit them, and you have to beat out coaches for them. And the players that jumped on board, I think they had to believe, and our staff had to identify the ones that were going to make sense for us, and I think they did a great job. Proud of that, but it was a lot. It was definitely a lot, and fortunately we were able to get some really key pieces.
And I'm putting you on the spot here a little bit, but I am curious. At least I've thought about this, and I don't know what you think. Do you feel like your time as a head coach in the SEC at Tennessee helps you more here, or do you feel like your time as a head coach in the state at Missouri State helps you more?
Both.
That's
probably.
the
I know it's the easy way out. Honestly, it's probably equal. I think just the marketing, so to speak, of being at Tennessee, and it gives me an opportunity to recruit nationally. A lot of kids were able to watch our teams play, so they identified with me there. But then when we're really wanting to be strong recruiting-wise in this region, my time at Missouri State was a big deal. It really was. And, I have relationships in this area that allow me to go out and do my job probably at a better level.
That is Mizzou head coach Kellie Harper. Up next, we're going to look ahead to tomorrow night's action at Mizzou Arena in the SEC ACC Challenge. This is Tiger Talk from Harpo's in downtown Columbia on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer. which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
When your car is making a strange noise, no matter what it is, you can't just pretend it's not happening.
That's an interesting sound.
It's like your mental health. If you're struggling and feeling overwhelmed, it's important to do something about it. It can be as simple as talking to someone or just taking a deep, calming breath to ground yourself. Because once you start to address the problem, you can go so much further. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
If you build a relationship, then it becomes easier. If you build trust, it becomes easier. As a parent, you want what's best for your child. To give them the love that a child needs. It's probably the best thing you do for a teenager.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
You say you never give in to a meltdown and never fill your feed with kid photos. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it and never let them run wild through the grocery store. So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, know it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Rebound down for Mizzou. Tigers looking to pour it on. Kick it ahead. Smith up the left side. Bouncer across the key to Sotel. Wide open for the layup. Mizzou up by 10. A few more minutes with the new head coach for Mizzou women's basketball, Kellie Harper, before we give way to the men's version of the show coming up at 7 o'clock. Don't forget, comedian Nate Bargatze is coming to Mizzou Arena on February 21st for his Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. Purchase your tickets on Ticketmaster now. Before that, we got some basketball games coming up, of course, starting tomorrow night. SEC ACC Challenge. Mizzou matching up with the Bears from Cal. At least looking at some of the stats, Coach, seem to be kind of in a similar place to you guys. Mizzou 7-2, Bears 6-2, very close to each other in the net ratings that are now out as of this week. Cal has played 2 SEC teams already. Vanderbilt and Auburn lost both games by single digits. You said yesterday, I believe, that they're the biggest and most athletic team you've gone up against so far. What else should we know about Cal?
I think they'll be the strongest team defensively that we've played this far as well. And that's a lot of that is because of their size and athleticism, but also their MO. That's who they are. Their identity is the defensive end, and they make things really difficult for you. So they are only giving, I'm going to look at the stats here because I don't want to get this wrong. So they're only giving up 4 made threes per game. That is stingy defense, and that is not what we do, right? So we like to get a few more makes than that. So there's definitely some conflict of styles. They don't foul. They don't send teams to the free throw line. We go to the free throw line. So there's gonna be some clashing there of styles, and it'll be interesting to see which team's able to win out. I think for us, we're going to go into it with and have our game plan, but I'll be honest with you, in my back pocket, we're going to have plan B. We might have a plan C in there too. But they're talented. I mean, they're talented. They do have a couple of young kids that are starting. They start a couple freshmen, one of which was the California Player of the Year last year. And they've got a 6'5" center. So they're good. They're good. Hopefully we can play our best, because I think that's where we're going to be the most competitive, playing our best tomorrow night.
Absolutely. Sharman Smith, by the way, is the head coach over at Cal. Tennessee is playing at Stanford tonight as part of the SEC ACC Challenge. I bring that up because Sharman Smith made 3 Final Fours for the Cardinal of Stanford, overlapping when you were winning national titles with the Lady Vols, and you guys had some run-ins in the regular season too back in the day.
Yeah,
right?
we played against each other. They may have gotten us more head-to-head, but we got the rings. So for whatever reason, that's just the way it played out. But they had some great teams at Stanford back in those days as well. Teams that, honestly were just fun to watch and hard to play against.
Absolutely. So again, Mizzou comes in with a record of 7-2. So that's obviously Coach Harper's record here at Mizzou. Overall, though, Coach Harper has won 400 games now as a head coach. So certainly congratulations to you, Coach. That's quite a milestone.
That's a lot, especially as young as I am. Right?
Well, those national titles for what, like 5-10 years ago, I think.
Man, listen, the other day somebody started talking about something that happened in my playing days, and I started adding up the numbers. Those are some big numbers. That's a long time ago now. So I'm enjoying this side of it. I'm very far removed from playing.
Mm-hmm. What were some of the key points along the way in terms of that 400 wins that you reflect back on?
I have received text messages from players at just about every place that I coached, and that's really cool. And obviously, it's about the players. It's about the people. It's about your staff, getting the right players there. So every time that I received a, hey, congrats on 400, it was a thank you. Actually, thank you for helping me get all those, because you don't do it. You're a head coach. You don't do it alone. It's not all about you. It's about the people around you, and it starts with good people. You've got to put the right people around you, whether that is the people in your office, the staff, or it's your players, because, it's not all about that big number. It's truly about the people. And were those players that I coached years and years ago, were they able to flourish? Were they able to reach their dreams? Were they able to, reach their potential? And, a lot of times that's yes. Not always. They were not perfect, but, we've coached a lot of really special kids.
And able to make the NCAA tournament at every stop along the way so far. We've got time. We can squeeze in one more story. I love the story you told about. So your first head coaching job, Western Carolina, you were like, I guess you would have been 7-8 years old at that point.
I was, I liked it, Brad. You see, I like how you picked up on things, Brad. That was good.
I'm trying to get a good relationship going early here. So you make the NCAA tournament. You had a really challenging draw, right?
Yeah. So we're at Western Carolina. Western Carolina has never been to the NCAA tournament ever. And we get to go. We were the number 6 seed going in our tournament. We make a run, 4 games in 4 days. We win. Congratulations. Let's go play the Lady Vols. And the Lady Vols at that point were like number 3 in the country. And our little team had to go across the mountain. And I felt great about walking back in the arena, and people, oh, there she is, Kelly, great job. You feel really good about you coming home, and people were clapping, and then that clap turns into the roof blows up, and you realize Pat just walked in. So it was awesome, but a very humbling experience as well. But that what a run! I mean, our first year get to go to the NCAA tournament with that team, and what a really special group of kids that we had.
And selection day, the players were blaming you.
Oh, they were mad at me. Yeah, they showed up. Usually when they say your name, Western Carolina, you're like, woo, let's go. Western Carolina, they looked at me like, why? Well, I didn't choose it. But that was some memories that they'll never forget.
Mm-hmm. Looking forward to the first NCAA tournament run, maybe in a few months, maybe a little bit longer. We'll see how it goes, but looking forward to many of those successful runs here at Mizzou.
We'll get there.
Sounds like a plan. Coach, great to have you here. 1 in the books. We'll do it again next week, okay?
All right. Thanks a lot, Brad.
That's Kellie Harper, head coach for Mizzou women's basketball. Again, her team has won 3 in a row, beat Washington State, Bradley, and Northwestern down in the state of Florida. Up next, it's Cal tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, 7:45 broadcast start along the Central Bank Tiger Network. SIU Edwardsville coming up on Sunday afternoon. Next Tiger Talk Tuesday of next week. For Jeremy Washington here, Sam at KMIZ, Steve Sowers from Mizzou Sports Properties, Darren McDermott back at Learfield headquarters in Jefferson City. I'm Brad Fernago. Thanks for